The Spy Who Fooled Hitler and Got a Medal for It. On June 6, 1944, the biggest invasion in history began. Over 150,000 soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy, and if they failed, the entire free world was doomed. But hundreds of miles away, Hitler's most powerful tanks were just sitting there, waiting. They were coiled up and ready to crush what they thought was the real Allied invasion, an invasion that was completely fake. They were being held there by their number one, most trusted spy in Britain, a guy codenamed Alaric. They were 100% convinced that Normandy was just a distraction to pull them away from the main target. But here's the insane part. Alaric wasn't a German spy. He wasn't even a Nazi. He was a Spanish chicken farmer who British intelligence had already rejected, and his entire spy network of 27 agents. He literally just made them all up. This is the story of how one man created a ghost army, completely fooled Hitler, and got a medal for it. From both sides. Before he was the world's greatest spy, Juan Pujol Garcia was a totally ordinary guy. He was born in Spain, ran a chicken farm, and managed a small hotel. He had zero military training, zero experience in spying, and literally nothing you'd want in an agent. But he had one thing that drove him. He absolutely hated political extremism. After living through the Spanish Civil War, he was disgusted by both sides, and when World War II broke out, he saw it as a battle for the future of humanity and decided he had to do something huge. He looked at Great Britain fighting Nazi Germany all alone and decided he had to help them win. His plan was as simple as it was insane. He would become a British spy. There was just one tiny problem. In 1941, Juan walked into the British embassy and told them he wanted to be a spy. They immediately threw him out. So he tried again, and they rejected him. Again. To them, he was just some random hotel manager who didn't even speak English. They thought he was useless. A normal person would have just given up. But Juan wasn't normal. If the British wouldn't hire him, he came up with a new, even crazier plan. He would get the Germans to hire him first, become their best agent, and then betray them to the Allies. He created a brand new identity, a hardcore pro-Nazi Spanish official. He studied up, walked into Germany's spy agency, and they completely fell for it. They were desperate for spies in Britain, so they gave him a crash course, a bottle of invisible ink, a code book, and a huge pile of cash. His mission? Get to Britain and build an army of spies. But he never actually went to Britain. He knew he'd be caught instantly. Instead, he moved to Portugal and started building his spy network inside his own imagination. Working from a tiny apartment, Pujol started building his masterpiece. His only spy tools were a tourist guidebook for Britain, a map, and some old train schedules. With just these, he started sending a flood of reports to Germany, filled with believable but totally useless info. He didn't just invent information, he invented the 27 fake spies who gave it to him. His fake network, called Arabelle, had everyone from a student in Glasgow to a Swiss businessman in Liverpool. Each of his 27 agents had a name, a personality, and a crazy backstory. His reports were a genius mix of real details and complete fiction. But sometimes he made hilarious mistakes. In one report, he said his agent in Glasgow noticed that people there would do anything for a litre of wine, which is something no one who has ever been to Scotland would ever say. But the Germans didn't notice. They were just blown away by how much info he was sending. If he made a mistake, he'd just blame it on one of his imaginary spies. When he failed to report a huge naval movement, he told the Germans that his spy in Liverpool had tragically died. Pujol even had a fake obituary put in a local newspaper. The Germans felt so bad, they started paying a pension to the agent's fake widow. Meanwhile, British codebreakers were reading these messages from Germany's top spy, Alaric, and realized something was off. They knew someone was feeding the Germans garbage, but they had no idea who. After Pujol reported a fake convoy and the German Navy wasted a ton of resources trying to find it, MI5 started a massive manhunt for this mystery agent. The British were now hunting for Germany's best spy, who was secretly trying to work for them, and he didn't even know they were looking for him. Before we get to the moment they finally found him, if you think this story is insane, hit that subscribe button because you won't believe what happens next. In 1942, the British finally found Pujol. They realized this mastermind was the same guy they had rejected twice. They were so stunned by his genius that they immediately flew him to London. There, Pujol got the codename Garbo, because as MI5 said, he was the greatest actor in the world. They teamed him up with an officer named Tommy Harris, and together they gave Garbo's fake spy army a huge upgrade. With real intelligence resources, Garbo's network got even bigger and more convincing. He and Harris would send over 20 messages in a single day, all from his 27 fake agents. The Germans loved Garbo's work so much that they told him to stop recruiting more agents. They thought his network had all of Britain covered. They were literally paying the British government millions of dollars to lie to them and fund this phantom army. They trusted him so much that they stopped trying to put any other spies in Britain because they thought Alaric was the best spy ever. Now it's 1944, and the Allies are planning Operation Overlord, the D-Day invasion. For it to work, they had to trick Hitler into thinking the main attack was happening somewhere else. This was called Operation Fortitude, and Garbo was about to become the star of the show. The goal was to make Hitler believe a fake army called Fusag, led by the legendary General Patton, was about to attack the Pas-de-Calais. Garbo's ghost army went into overdrive. He sent over 500 radio messages detailing the fake army's every move. To keep him looking legit, the Allies even let Garbo warn the Germans about the real Normandy invasion. But here's the twist. He sent the message so it would arrive just a little too late for them to do anything about it. Then, 3 days after D-Day, Garbo sent the most important message of his life. He told the Germans that his entire spy network confirmed Normandy was just a giant diversion. The real attack, he promised, was still coming at the Pas-de-Calais. That report went directly to Adolf Hitler, and he bought it. Convinced Normandy was a trick, Hitler refused to send his best tank divisions to fight the Allies. For weeks, while the Allies were struggling on the beaches, Hitler's most powerful forces sat waiting for an attack that was completely made up. That delay gave the Allies the time they needed to land over 1 million soldiers and win. The Germans never figured it out. Even as their empire was collapsing, they still believed in their star agent. On July 29, 1944, Germany awarded Juan Pujol Garcia the Iron Cross, an honor personally approved by Hitler himself. 5 months later, the King of England made him a member of the Order of the British Empire for helping the Allies win the war. He is one of the only people in history to get a medal from both sides of World War II. After the war, Garbo was afraid of being hunted down, so he disappeared. MI5 helped him fake his own death in 1949, and he moved to Venezuela. He ran a small bookstore and lived a completely normal, quiet life for decades. It wasn't until 1984 that a historian finally found him and revealed his unbelievable story to the world. Juan Pujol Garcia, the chicken farmer who became the world's greatest actor, proved that sometimes the most powerful weapon in the world isn't a bomb. It's an incredible lie. His army of ghosts saved thousands of lives and helped change history forever. What do you think is the most insane part of this story? The fact that he started with just a tourist map, or that he got a medal from Hitler for fooling him? Let me know in the comments. And for more unbelievable stories, don't forget to like and subscribe.